Did you know that 90% of Americans believe in true love? So, what's the secret to finding it? Robert, why don't you start us out with the first way?
All right, we are going to give you 8 secrets here to finding true love. And the first secret that I'm going to share with you is self acceptance. Okay, self acceptance. In other words, you have to have yourself together first. You have to have come to a transformational point in your life where you accept who you are, you love who you are, with your faults, with your idiosyncrasies, with your crazy, but just accept who you are. And then where we've seen it really play out is when you're with somebody, you want to be with them, you don't need to be with them. So it just follows, if you've accepted yourself, then you don't need, quote unquote, anybody, but you want somebody, but you just don't need them. So I think that first point is so powerful. How about number 2, babe?
So number 2 is just be yourself, be authentic, genuine, be you, because no one, eventually they're going to find out the real you anyway. So why not start out that way just from day one? For me, that is, and you can tell when someone's not being genuine. I think that's usually what you call a red flag. So I think just being yourself, we're all flawed. No one's perfect. So even all the little pieces of you that you might not want to show, I think it's important just to let them show.
Oh, I love that. And we've talked about red flags in other videos. So if you haven't seen those, go back and check them out. But that's such a good point. You can have a red flag that is people being genuine. That's who they are, but recognize it as a red flag, not a green flag. So the third point I'm going to talk about is be open to receiving love. Woo! You have to be open to it. Okay. You really have to be open to receiving love. And that, again, it piggybacks a little bit under self-acceptance, because, I've read and we've read about the fact that you can only be loved to the extent that you love yourself. So, it starts with that point 1, self-acceptance, and then be open to receiving love. You do deserve it. You are worthy of love. So you just have to be open to that.
Love that. So the fourth point is put the past behind you. That one's a hard one. I know that's hard for a lot of people. And yes, the past is going to be there. There's going to be things that you're going to talk about in your past that are pertinent, but you don't have to talk about everything in your past. And I think the most important thing with putting your past behind you is like healing from things in your past. You're going to have triggers. Robert and I have both experienced it with, we've both been divorced twice. So there are going to be things that come up and you deal with those as they come up. But I think having a general being healed from those things overall is important. We don't need to live in the past. We need to live in the present and focus on the love that's in front of you. You need to focus on who you are today, not who you were yesterday or who you're going to be tomorrow. I think it's just important to just remain in the present.
Love that. Yeah, the past. That's Satan's work right there, isn't it? The past. He constantly will try to pull us back into the past and say, oh, see, it didn't work for you that time.
Right.
It's not going to work for you this time. That whole thing.
That's where a lot of like our negative self-talk comes in. And I've experienced it. I know a lot of people do in relationships. When you think about your past and things that have happened, you can bring those into your present when they don't even relate to they don't have any place in your present, and that is the devil just trying to bring up, those old negative self-talks that you had about yourself in the past and trying to put them in your present.
Yeah, Satan, you're out. You don't live here anymore. We're banishing you. The next point that I want to talk about is commitment. There's got to be commitment from both of you. Commitment, whatever that looks like, discuss it, define what it looks like, understand from the other person what commitment looks like for them, because what I've learned, I'm sure Alana has learned, what commitment looks like for me may not be the same as it looks like for her. And you think, in general terms, oh yeah, we know what commitment is, but do you really? Do you really know the other person's version of commitment? Are you able to articulate what your version of commitment is? So I think it's really important to have those kinds of communications. And, I've known couples, I'm sure you have too, babe, that like, yeah, we'll never get married. We're just cohabiting together. And that for them is their commitment. And that's fine. If the two people decide that's what they want to do, then that's the key, right? You just have to be aligned on what that commitment level is, but you have to have some kind of commitment level to each other. You agree with that?
Yes. Absolutely. Without commitment, you don't really, there's
It's like,
nothing.
what's the point, right? What's the point?
Right. I mean, I guess there are open relationships people have where there's not really a commitment, or maybe they're committing to having an open relationship. I don't know. So commitment can look different, like you said, to different people. So discussing that, like you said, to that point and deciding what that is for the two of you. Yeah. And so the sixth point I'm going to go into is mutual attraction. This one is big. And as we have talked about before, you have to be attracted to the other person. But I think there for mutual attraction that it just not skin deep. It has to be like an emotional level too. And, if one of you is attracted to the other one and, the other one's not, like, it's just not going to jive, and you're not going to be happy if you're with someone that you're really not attracted to. I just don't see how ultimate happiness could be there. I know it's not all about that, but it makes life a lot more fun. Have it.
Yes, it does. I love that.
Yeah. So
I love
definitely,
it.
I think to be with someone, to have true love is to just have that ongoing attraction that just keeps getting stronger. It doesn't fade. You try to find ways to just, yeah, to keep it alive.
And I think, boy, I love these points that we're going over to really define what true love is between a man and a woman, and giving some signs to true love and the behaviors for true love. We're going through a lot of those things. And this last one that I want to cover today is one that I think is so cool. It is having that genuine friendship. If you can call that person your best friend, or just know in your heart that, yes, this is the person I would share anything with as a best friend. I think that is so important, because it's kind of getting to the point that you were making about skin deep, babe. There's got to be an attraction, that sort of thing. That's the stuff below that, where you've got to have that friendship, because that friendship is going to endure through everything. If you've got that solid foundation of a friendship, it is going to endure.
Yeah, I think also like with that, the attraction piece, like that friendship and having that deep emotional connection in a friendship is going to make the attraction piece like that much deeper in itself as well, for sure.
Yes, I agree. So I just feel like things we want to talk about is our personal experience with true love, and we have it now as a couple. So, the experience to me is just, if you've never experienced it, you'll know when you're experiencing it, because I know I say to Alana all the time, I think I'm really learning true love for the first time in my life, because it is all those things that we described there. And it's just a continual growth in each other, a continual, we're growing as individuals because we are learning from each other. In our world, God is working through us to sharpen the other person. And we continue to look to God to build our relationship with Him as individuals, which pulls us and brings us closer as a couple. So that's what I would say to somebody that says, wow, what is true love? It is truly two people not completing each other, but two people making each other better, two people making each other more like Jesus here in this world.
Right. That just makes me think of two are better than one.
Yes. Oh, yes. How about
And
that?
once
That's
you find your true love, it's like you just know it. It's there. I don't think that there is any word or sign. It's just like something that you feel, honestly, when it boils down to it. I think it's something that you're going to feel and just know, like, you don't want to live the rest of your life without that person. Like, you can't imagine it, like truly in your heart.
And I was liking it too. Alana would probably laugh about this. Sometimes I'll just be looking at her and I'll just have this smile on my face. She look at me, she goes, "What?" And I'm like, "I just love you. I'm just happy." I mean, it's a great feeling. We just have had this spontaneous joy and happiness about you for no other reason than to just look across the room, or look into the eyes of that person, that special person.
This is true. You do that. But I love it. So
Oh.
subscribe with the notification bell. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and comment down below.
Yes, and we'll see you next Wednesday. We drop a new video every Wednesday as we take you on this wonderful journey from isolation to community, because we know once you're in a community of people who are for you, don't judge you, in harmony with you, the next step is freedom.